no flex. The livest one in the section. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You would run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Tyson Fury being spoken to by Ben Davison, and there's the moment, the pre-fight kiss. I have never ever seen that before.
So there's been a few, but people take drugs, don't they, in boxing? They all take drugs, I'd say. All of them.
Really?
Yeah. I'd say they're all abusing performance enhancers or weight strippers or whatever they're going to do to take drugs. I think they all take drugs. All athletes.
Define all. Who's
everybody?
Well, obviously you're not talking about yourself, so.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight. Lightweight, baby. It's time to bleed. Drew Titan, Bronze on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Do this roll call real quick. My brother One Deep in the building. Stormy B, man, in here with everything. Salute to you, Anwar Willis, Columbia, Michael Fleming, Shin C, Bernard Gilbert, 88, my brother, always supporting. Slim Hussein, Jerome King, Son of Tank, Main Event Mark, Shaquilla, Miss Van Houder, salute to you. And thank you guys for the interview last night. If y'all missed it, go back and watch it. We had Mozzie in here. He was in the Strong House, him and his dad. Miss Van Houder was in the chat. Man, that kid's special, man. That kid's special. We here for the ride. We here. Salute to you. Delano, salute. Del Riv, Robert Singleton, Derek Gaines, the legend. PGH, my brother, true boxing night in the building. Rod Nail, salute. Straight up and down. If you a casual, get out my chat. If you're a casual, get out my chat right now, because this ain't for you. This ain't for you. And I say this respectfully, because you're not going to be able to follow what I'm talking about, because these are things that I've been talking about. Okay? I've been talking about it. Eric O, salute. This is second nature to me at this point. I don't have to do any research, because I did all the research. I've had guests on here like Art Hostage, who's from the UK. Art Hostage is such a threat when it comes to that underground, whatever they got going on over there, that they ran into his crib and seized his computers and put him on trial. If you know, you know. That really happened. Young Blaze, and salute. Isaiah, Anthony Bolton, Lost in the Jungle, salute. Young Blaze, and it's all right, man. It's all right. It's all right. I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you're okay, man. And blessings to you. You know, God don't put nothing on your shoulders that you're not prepared to handle. And sometimes we don't understand why things are happening in real time. But once the emotion sets in, you got to control that and just, you know, try and figure out what's going on and keep your eyes on the prize. Just remember, and this might sound harsh, you got to focus. Jason Bourne, salute. You got to focus. With respect to everything that people go through, I want you guys to just remember this. Your boss doesn't care. Your landlord doesn't care. The mortgage company doesn't care. The people that you pay your car note don't care. They'll say, hey, man, I'm sorry you're going through that, but where's my money? So you can weep. You can do all of that. What I'm saying is the world is very, very, it's brutal. The world is brutal. So we have to adjust with the world while maintaining our humanity. And that's where your faith in the Lord comes in. And that's all I could tell you, young Blazer. For real, man. I'm sorry you went through all of that, man. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad that I can assist in getting you through your morning. I'm glad, your support to me is my support to you. Just being here is great. Just being here is great, man. And hopefully I can get your mind off of what you got going on. Feel me? But just always focus. Don't let what's happening around you put you in a personal spiral where you lose focus on what's allowing you to take care of yourself. You feel me? So just multitask. There you go, my brother Art Hostage right here. Salute. There you go right there. So he knows. He knows. Blessings to you, brother. I was in your chat the other day, as a matter of fact. Salute Art Hostage. Go subscribe to Art Hostage. This is the expert right here. And what I said to you is very true. This man is so on point. They ran up in his crib and seized his computers, man. But when they're doing all of that, guess what? He wasn't lying. Oh, yeah, brother. We on that. We on that. Oh, no, Isaiah. Man, blessings, brother. Blessings, brother. You see, let me pause here for a moment. You see why I don't get on here and play with people, man? You see why I don't get on here and play with people? You see why I don't just randomly just start picking at people online? You never know what they're going through, bro. You never know what they're going through. Leave people the fuck alone, man. You know what I'm saying? We're all human beings. We got families. We got friends off this internet stuff. I don't bother people. You never know what the hell they're going through. Leave people alone, man. You could be a blessing as much as you could attempt to be a curse. This trolling and stuff, you don't know what they're going through. These some miserable people out here. Man, I pray every day. I pray for everybody that's righteous. I pray for everybody that's not righteous, and I hope that they get right. I pray every day that I walk out my door, some idiot don't put me in a position where I have to do something that ends their life and puts me in the bind where now I got to go to court and they're calling me defendant, and I got to justify why I done ripped someone's head off. And let me bring the show back, man. I pray for all of you, man. Thank you for your support. Let's get to the smoke. We all talked about what Simon Jordan did, and Art, you are very, very correct. That was a fucking ambush. They were there to talk about the Chisora fight, and Simon chose that time. This was boiling in him for about 4 years, 3 to 4 years. And he picked that moment to say Wilder's quote-unquote excuse to losing the Fury was bullocks, as they say over there. I don't know what that means. I just heard it before. I might be using it in the wrong term. Forgive me. Yeah, exactly, Art. Exactly. He waited and he picked that moment to get that off his chest. Now, here's what's ridiculous. To me, being that it's Daniel Kinahan involved and MTK Global that's non-existent, that they hustled Barry McGuigan out of his spot and all this other stuff. See, right now, that's why I say casuals, this show ain't for you this morning. Y'all don't even know who the fuck Barry McGuigan is. All right? Y'all don't even know who Daniel Kinahan is. In fact, I didn't know everything until people were running down to Dubai to talk to him. I said, well, who is this guy? And then I found Art Hostage, and he said, Art is the one that said, no, this guy's bad news. We didn't know who the hell he was over here. I said, well, how bad? And I started doing research. I said, wait a minute. He's what? Simon Jordan knows. And what I'm saying is there should be a statute of limitations, being that it was involving Daniel Kinahan. If Simon Jordan knows everything about Daniel Kinahan, and he says, I'm not a Fury guy, why are you bringing up what Deontay went through with this guy as if it was clean? Oh, he's a cartel leader. He guns, drugs, human trafficking, $5 million bounty on his head from our country. A known cheater. From Nicholas Asbury to Christian Hammer. And it goes on and on with this guy. Steve Cunningham. All of that. But he didn't cheat Wilder 3 times. You draw the line there. And then when we talk about racism in the sport, you look at us like we crazy. There's no statute of limitations when it comes to a black athlete. That's why Deontay talked about race. And it's an emotional thing. I already said how I feel about Jason Whitlock. That man don't know boxing. And he was too busy trying to, he worried about the feelings of the guy that owns Papa John's Pizza, the MAGA guy, that guy. You too busy worried about him being intimidated by Deontay representing his culture, walking to a ring with a suit on. If that white man got intimidated by that, but not intimidated by the Mexicans on the card that walk to the ring with sombreros on, if that don't scare him, but the 6'7" black man in the goddamn black outfit scared you, and it was Black History Month, if that scares him, then Jason, you need to get away from him. But I know, you don't want to get away from Massa. You fat POS. You fat pillow biting POS. Yeah, we all know you got caught with pillow biting pornography on your work computer, you idiot. Now here's what this is. And let me read this super chat, but let me explain that for a minute. Freedom's March salute. He says, yo, bullocks means bullish in the UK. Oh, really? Okay. I didn't know that. Thank you. I'll be using that a lot more. No Smoke, my brother in the building. Salute. If I miss you in the chat, know that I love you. I'm just cooking right now. Go subscribe to No Smoke. Oh, yeah, Art. Yeah. I don't know what he did. I would love to know. And you see, this is the thing right here. This is the thing. Well, let me get back to this. Let me finish my original point. If you just call it what it is. I make a lot of gay jokes on here, but some of those are not jokes. When you stalk another man, like I get stalked, and what's the first thing when people start talking about me? They just start talking about my physique. Oh, Drew, you on steroids? It's been done. It's been said. No, I just work out a lot. Oh, you got to be on steroids. Man, why are you talking about my shape? Talk about something else. And when you've been talking about my physique for 4 years, and you haven't hit the gym once, there's something about me that you wish you were. You sound like a woman that got stood up. A girl that got stood up for prom, or a girl that's mad that the guy that you want to take to prom is taking somebody else. Which is why I say jealousy is a female trait. No man should be jealous of another man. Just work harder. Anytime I saw a brother with something that I'd like to have, or, you know, I'm like, I would ask the brother, hey man, how'd you do that? It's called getting educated. Happens to me all the time in the gym. Hey man, how do you get your arms, or, you know, how you do those pull-ups, whatever. And I tell them flat out, I'm no expert. This is what works for me, but this is what I did. You make a new friend. That's how you build relationships. See, you haters don't even know that. You know what? You got hate in your blood. There was a song about that. The Locks, you got hate in your blood. And if you live that life, that's your life. But you know what I got a problem with? When you live that life in secret, and then you get on this Christian pedestal and try and tell other black men how to live by the word of God. That's my problem with Jason Whitlock. Because when he was on Fred's show, if you can go to his channel and find it, he had Jason Whitlock on as a guest. And salute to Ticket TV, because when he came on the panel, he cooked Jason. He folded his arms over his big man tits and said, "Next caller." Because you ain't want that smoke. And it was about Kobe Bryant. You fat chitlin. I will never respect that dude until he comes out the closet. Because that's my problem. Oh, you need to live by the word of God, and black men need to be better to their women. And, you know, and then in that same show, that's why I'm telling you to find it. He said, well, I guess in that sense, I'm a bit of a hypocrite because I'm not married. Oh, and I said, wow. Can I ask y'all a question for those of you who are married? Wouldn't it make sense to take advice on marriage from someone that was married or is currently married? If you're gonna take advice, you can even get advice from a person that's been divorced 3 times, because 3 times they got it wrong, but at least they believe in it. So what can you do? What kind of advice you can take from them? Well, I need to know why he got divorced, man. Tell me your story unedited. So I need to know what not to do. You see how that works? But why would you take advice from a man that's never been married? And he's living by the word of God, allegedly, but you never seen him with a woman. And there's homosexual rumors flying all around this guy. And it's like, well, I can't deny or confirm, but it is pretty odd that you almost 60, never seen you with a woman. You have no kids, nothing. But the word on the curb is, nah, he's like that. All the Bible in the world can't make you run from yourself, like that light-skinned dude running around. I like the women's. I'm gay no more. I like the women's. No. As soon as he got off that mic, he got on another mic. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. In fact, it's funny I brought that up because that dude, I think there was a situation when he was in Adrian Broner's DM. Look it up. I don't even know dude's name. He became he became a meme. Light-skinned dude. It was crazy. And then he hopped in Adrian Broner's DM years ago. I didn't even read the whole story. I said, man, this is crazy. All the Jesus in the world can't save you from who you are. My point is, be who you are, man. Be who you are. Worry about that on Judgment Day. But I'm not hearing some dude in the closet telling me how to be a black man. Not doing that. And on top of that, you telling me how to treat women, and I never seen you with one. And word on the curb is, yo, that dude's gay. And these are people saying that they don't hate him. They say, oh, nah, he's this. Oh, you don't know? No. Well, that answers that. Now to my brother Art Hostage comment, he says the Weeds must be high in Vegas, in the Vegas home of Fury. Here's the funny part. Let me ask y'all a question. Where were the stories on Tyson Fury from these YouTubers not being allowed on American soil? Where were the stories at? We definitely spoke about it over here. Now, what Art Hostage means is when he had his credentials revoked and he's no longer allowed here, he had a whole home in Vegas somewhere. I don't know. Never seen a picture of it, never bothered, never cared. I don't know if that home went up for sale. Look, where were the videos on his mansion for sale? Had to have been a big property. Where were the videos on his mansion for sale? I'm just asking. I know Ego did a whole live stream when Devin sold his house. Remember that? Oh, you know who it is. Boss, Devin Haney's home for sale. We outside. That was a whole live stream. I said, wait a minute. That's he's selling his property. What is that? What do you mean? What are you trying to? And I never watched it, but he did a whole live stream on it. That's what we doing? Where was this video about Fury's home for sale? And you wonder why I can't stand the knuckle draggers. You wonder why I have a whole show called Monkey Tuesdays. That's why no one can call me racist. Oh, you don't hold black people accountable. You miss every Tuesday. Go to my channel and just put in Monkey Tuesday. I have one tomorrow. What volume am I on Monkey Tuesday? Let me see. I think I'm on volume number 58. So there's 57 shows of me holding the monkeys accountable. And yes, I'm talking about you niggas. 88 Sports Talking that super chat, much love, man. He says, didn't some boxer get blasted in a weigh-in? Yes. And what happened to that ban list? Why didn't they release all the names? Did Bob give up enough names? Hey, bro. I know. Now watch this. Al Heyman, yeah, more on him tomorrow. But if this was Al Heyman doing this, all of the names will be plastered all over the internet. Yo, listen. Josh Taylor was on that list. He had to work really hard to say, look, man, I was just getting money. I'm just a fighter. I had nothing to do with that shit. Leading up to the Teofimo Lopez fight, he was on that list. I think Savannah Marshall was on that list. Imagine you sign into this, you're just a boxer. You sign in, oh man, I'm getting the signing bonuses. Oh yeah. I'm about to make 6 figures for my next 3 fights. And what do you mean we out of business? Interpol, what the fuck? What are you talking? Wait a minute. I just signed a contract to work with a company. What do you mean I can't go to America? I fight in a month. And you got to work that out. If Daniel Canahan was named Raheem Bushim and he was from fucking Harlem, oh my God. It would be a nightmare. It would be a nightmare. Cheeks in the building. What's good, bro? You think I'm bullshitting? Read that. Kinahan Cartel had $200 million frozen and reduced by $5 million a month fee for safe haven in Dubai. This man is still at large. And here's the point of the show. Simon Jordan knows what we know. He might know more. He might know more. Meanwhile, he waited 3 years to ambush Deontay Wilder with the Fury question. Tyson Fury's best friend is Daniel Kinahan. Tyson Fury is a goddamn cheater. I know that. I'm not a Fury guy, but he didn't cheat you. Stay in your place, nigga. That's basically what he said. Big Joe Townsend, salute. Stay in your place, nigga. Rod Neal in the building. He says they were loud when they thought Bud was on it. Yes, they were. Now, here's a different kind of loud that I was. When Bud is in that picture with Fury, and y'all know the video that I used to play? When he's in the ocean talking about, I'm looking for the big fish. Where you at, Errol? Where you at, Errol? Where you at? Do y'all remember what I said? I said, Bud, no. Anywhere but there. Did anybody tell Bud who that guy is? It was out of concern. I was like, yo, does Bomac not know? Somebody got to tell them. Get away from that guy. They talked some business, sent him home. Hopefully they didn't put no crack in his watches and transport his shit back to the States. We don't know what was going on. We don't know. But when I said, Bud, I know you're independent looking for a deal, but please not there. It was concern for my brother. It was concern. I wasn't saying, ha, see, yeah, look at him. No, I said, Bud, no, not there. No. This is why the quote-unquote YouTubers are important, because sometimes we know stuff that the fighters don't know. Well, safe to say he didn't do no business. He went down there to talk business, but he didn't do no business. Thank God. Because he'd have got caught up in this. And you know what's funny? If Bud made a nest with Daniel Kinahan right now, Bud would be under investigation. And that would have been the reason why the Errol Spence fight wouldn't have happened. Because of that shit. See that? This guy's been bad news. Simon Jordan knows he knows more than what we know. He over there. But he ain't cheat Deontay. So what I want to do this morning is reintroduce you. It's 2026. I have to re-up y'all on Daniel Kinahan. This show's not for the casuals. It don't matter what we say. We didn't know who the fuck Daniel Kinahan was. We didn't know. And once we found out, this was mind-blowing. I'm like, wait a goddamn minute. Is this for real? This guy's for real? This is what Deontay was up against? Look, man, the brother from Alabama gets into boxing because his daughter was sick. Understand this, y'all. If he didn't have a sick daughter, he'd have been working a regular job somewhere, and we'd have never known him. He'd have just been another a talented brother that we would have never have known about. He didn't come out the womb saying, hey, I want to box. He don't have the same story like Floyd came out the womb boxing because he comes from a fighting family. That's fine. Zab Judah came out the womb fighting because Yoel got hands. He's a karate champion or something like that. But these guys was raised in the gym. Deontay brought up regular. Then he said, you know what, I'm going to try that. End up making the Olympic team and got a bronze medal. He got a medal with minimum training. I mean, like he trained for the Olympics, but I mean, he didn't come out the womb. He's a late bloomer. And for him to have gone, and not have gone, because gone is past tense, to have gotten as far as he has gotten, to make this many waves, to be a legitimate threat, all these people are left to do is talk about his lack of skill set. And they've gone as far as to disrespect the era that he was dominating. Not only was his skill set horrible, but the reason why he has gotten this far with a horrible skill set is because the era he's fighting in is trash. Bullshit. Because there was one man that could have set the record straight, and his name was Anthony Joshua. And Eddie Hearn stopped that fight. Y'all know what I say. You think AJ beats him? Y'all think AJ beats him? I said, great. We got to fight then, right? I know. Deontay doesn't sell enough. That's my shitty British accent. Deontay doesn't sell enough. I'm like, all right, cool. AJ's a rock star. I get it. So Deontay doesn't sell enough, but AJ does. I'm talking about undisputed, and you're talking about seat sales. You're a fan. Stay in a fan's place. I'm talking about the fight, and you talking about money. Are you on AJ's team? Well, no. Okay. You're not. All right, so here's what you're gonna do. Deontay's gonna come to the UK, and you and your wife Peppa Pig is gonna come and buy your seats at Wembley. I'm gonna buy a ticket and fly my ass over there, and we're gonna enjoy the fight. Somebody's gonna win, somebody's gonna lose. Why don't we have a fight? Can we have the fight? Well, Deontay doesn't sell. Okay, I understand that, but AJ does. Well, he doesn't deserve a fight with Anthony Joshua. One name, two words, Carlos Takam.
Man crush.
Anything else? Hey, listen, man. Hey, y'all read that. Y'all go ahead and read that. Speaking of men that I've never seen with women, every time I saw AJ, he on a boat with his boys, with his shirt off. There ain't that much bromances in the world, bro. I don't want to hear it. Ratchet, what up? There ain't that much bromance in the world, bro. I mean, every time. And I say this respectfully because I know he lost, some brothers that were close to him, and I get that. Doesn't negate from the fact, though, we was talking about this for years. Like, yo, hold on, man. When he was just over here in America, when he beat the shit out of Jake Paul, good job, AJ. Alicia Baumgartner was ready. She was ready. You saw that? She was ready. And I'm watching that like, hey, bro. She ready, man. You know, she ready. You just knocked out Jake Paul. You made like $92 million. You had to give up half of it, but Alicia's ready? Bro, seal your American stay that night with Alicia, bro. Blessings. Do that. She was ready. Y'all remember that video? How she was looking at him? She was ready. If I was in his spot, I'm a single man. I'm like, yeah, picture, yeah, Alicia, come with me. We wouldn't even made it back to the telly. We wouldn't even made it to the shower. Cause she nasty. She want all that sweat. I'd have bust her ass in the locker room, bro. You crazy? You supposed to take that. Those other chicks that you don't know, I was like, be careful, bro. It's Miami. Be careful. It's Miami. These chicks looking for a come up. Your salary was, the money you made was public record. But Alicia is an athlete. Brother Coach Hudson in the building. Hey, Coach. Hey, Coach. Go subscribe to my brother Art Hostage. This is the man that put us up on game. We figured out who Daniel Kinahan was, but we didn't have all the information. And this is the man that he came on my channel and he put us up on all the game. Coach, this brother's so bad, the law kicked in his door and seized his computers and brought him to court. Yes. So it's official. Go subscribe to Art Hostage. Yes, sir. Oh, shit. Wait, hold on. I got the news up. There was a carjacking in the Bronx. Terrific. Like I said, we living in strange times. Y'all go ahead and get y'all concealed carry. Rather be tried by 9 than carried by 6. Knock that shit back. My brother Felix Nunez in that super chat. Salute, brother. He says, imagine Canelo having El Chapo as his advisor. That's basically what this is. The difference is El Chapo is in custody. Daniel Kinahan is still at large. That's the funny part. But that's exactly what this is. Imagine Canelo having El Chapo as his advisor. There it is. There it is. Right, that part. And here's the funny part. Remember when Al Heyman was running shit? The PBC was on top of the game. They had TV deals and everything. Wasn't they insinuating that Al Heyman was involved in some sort of illegal activity? And back then, I didn't even know who a Daniel Kinahan was. I didn't know. Then when we find out, the American public doesn't even talk about it. That's why I don't let these casuals come in my chat and say any old thing. If you're a casual, you can't talk to me about Deontay Wilder in the Fury situation. You don't know what he was fighting. It was more than him fighting this fat bastard in the ring. He was fighting a ring of crime from, all right, this is how it goes. Bob Arum was involved. Eddie Hearn was involved. As a matter of fact, Top Rank and Mauricio Sillyman ran the Daniel Kinahan because they believe his white face. Because he had deep pockets. They've been around longer than a lot of us. They can't tell me that they didn't know where this guy's money came from. They just wanted to get some money and get in and out. So you had the WBO and the WBA ran over to him, and they backed Tyson Fury. That's his guy. Real shit. That is his guy. Eddie Hearn knew who he was because he lives over there. Eddie, Barry, Frank Warren, they knew who this guy was. So they on the outside look at it like, yo, wherever this gonna go, we're gonna try and get in and out. We're gonna try and get in and out. Too late, baby, bye-bye. Too late. Little Junior this morning. Y'all don't know about Junior. It's too late, baby, bye-bye. That's the brother that song Mama used to say. He's British, by the way. Salute to him. These cats knew who Daniel Kinahan was. They were hoping they could grab some money and get the fuck out the way. That's what they were waiting on. It didn't work. The strong arm of the law picked up on it. They said, nope. Not this guy, not this motherfucker. So you had the WBC, the WBO. I'm sorry, the WBO, the WBO, WBC. They over there, they down in Dubai taking pictures with him. Stupid ass, this racist cunt. Hashtag boxing. That motherfucker, why am I having a brain fart? Goddamn, what's this? Oh, wait, hold on. Rick Glasser. Read that. See, I don't get rid of anything. I lost some followers today because of my support of Daniel Kinahan's presence in boxing. And I will continue to support all those that are assets to the betterment of the sport and business of professional hashtag boxing. And no, he spelled the wrong no. This tweet is not getting deleted. That was April 12th, 2022. I need y'all, if y'all on Twitter, go to this fat piece of shit's Twitter and see if you see this. Because since he posted this, the $5 million bounty was on his head. Of Daniel Kinahan. Okay? So he's supporting a drug lord, a crime lord, a syndicate, a cartel leader. And he said, I'm not deleting this tweet. Don't worry, I saved it. This is why I don't fuck with, and this is why I call him a racist. He may have been right on Al Heyman's businesses practices, because now we're seeing the result. But the sun shines on a dog's ass every now and again. So you're right about that. But this, I ain't forgetting this. And I have another question for y'all. Did he feel the same way about Turki Al-Sheikh's presence in hashtag boxing? Bend the knee to the Irish white man. But here comes Turki Al-Sheikh with real money. And he's treating everybody like hoes now. Top ranked fighters are over there, and people that waved the WBC titles over there. Then when they win, they're talking about, here comes Mauricio Suleiman. Oh, hey, bud, I need $300,000 for you to have our belt. He said, fuck you, man. Keep this. I'm good. Hey, Shakur. Good win against Tiafimo. We're going to need some money for you to hold our belts. Fuck you. Take it. Fuck you. All right. Your belts mean nothing. You guys are fighting on Tubi. Top rank Tubi. It's over. See what happens when you're a whore? What else Rick Glass to say? Oh, this is what he said about Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn, you can and will be great. Keyshawn, you can and will be a great fighter. All the earmarks are there, but you need a new hairstylist. Your hair is a mess. #boxing. Listen, our nappy hair comes from a lineage of kings. And I'll just land that plane right there. Oh, I didn't know this. Look at this. Daniel Kinahan has converted to Islam years ago, has a long beard, and lives a clean life openly in Dubai these days. Rumors of a second wife and having kids by them, meaning he might be a citizen of the UAE. He has to be a citizen of UAE. I would imagine so, because he's there. And whatever they got going on over there, America can't just go in there and get him. We can only ask and say, yo, could you give us this guy? And they could be like, no. I didn't know he's Muslim now. Shit. You see, these are things I don't know. You see this? Search Ryan Wedding, Mexico cartel's boss connected to Kinahan's currently in U.S. custody making a deal. Holy shit. You see, listen, y'all. I don't even know this stuff. You see this? Exactly, D'Artagnan. Muslims. He converted to Islam out of convenience. He pulled a Tank Davis, but he's sticking to it because as long as he's Muslim, they're not going to give him up. So there goes that. He's with the cool kids at the table now. The cartels are connected, man. And look, man. I said all that to say this. This is the bullshit that Deontay was dealing with. It was deeper than just training for 2 to 3 months in the ring in your camp and then going into the ring. It wasn't a clean fight. Jack Reese on the payroll. The second fight, shit removed from the goddamn gloves. He was on my show the other day. He said he had gotten that phone call. He had gotten that phone call. They don't like what he's talking about. And they did that shit to him. They literally tried to assassinate him in the ring. Third fight, it was supposed to be in July. They postponed it. This fat fuck leaves the country and goes to goddamn to see his sick daughter in the UK. Why was the camp closed up? The camp was closed up because of COVID. We asked Jared fucking Anderson, yo, man, you all right? You got COVID? He don't answer the question. He's goofing around. He's goofing around. That weekend, there's a UFC event, and mind you, we're coming out the pandemic, so we're trying to get back to normal. Prior to him leaving, he's out and about at the casinos taking pictures with people. He leaves the country, there's a UFC event. We see who? Joseph Parker. They throw the mic in his face, say, hey, man, we heard the champ has a COVID. You all right? Everyone has COVID in the camp? Joseph Parker's like, what? Exactly. He didn't know. What a way to avoid VADA testing. He comes back to America. October, I'm in Vegas. I'm at the fight. In round 4, he was dropped twice. and Russell Mora blew the fucking count. I watched him do it. Later in the fight, Deontay in round 11 is very fatigued. This fat fucker's bouncing around like it's round one. All 330 pounds of his fat ass bouncing around like it's round one. I said, you can't tell me that this fat fuck ain't on drugs. You can't tell me that. But the funny part is, he gets the benefit of the doubt from a colonizer like Simon fucking Jordan. And of all times, you could have called Deontay on the phone. In 3 years, you could have called this man on the phone. You could have had a conversation with him and asked him what was going on with the suit, man to man. In 3 years, I think Deontay has been to the UK at least twice, and I'm lowballing it. You could have done an exclusive. If you really wanted the questions answered, because he don't want the questions answered. His mind is made up. Fury's a cheater and you're not a Fury guy, but you're on code enough to tell this black man to his face that you think his excuses was bullocks. No, not excuses. His reasoning was bullocks. You weren't poisoned. He didn't remove padding out the gloves. You just lost. And you know who this guy was associated with. I didn't know that all hostage, he has a clean son. Well, I got trust issues, brother. I got trust issues. When I was at the, oh man, what was that fight I went to? Me and Thomas went to, oh, what's his name? Having a brain fart. But that's that same night I met Larry Holmes and put him on the phone with my dad. When I was leaving the event, and off the boat, Irishman came to me. He says, "Oh, Drew Titan." And I stopped. I said, "Yes." He said, "Oh, yeah, I watch you." I said, "Yes." And I said, "Here we go. Here comes the threat." He says, "No, you do excellent work on Kinahan. I'm from Ireland, and I have a relative in the Fury camp, so I know." I said, "Oh." So you do excellent work. I said, "Yeah." And he mentioned Art Hostage name too. These are the things that American boxing fanatics don't know. That's why I said when the show started, if you're a casual, this show ain't for you this morning. Because I could tell you, man, go Google anything and everything that we're talking about, and then come back and call me a liar. You see, the average boxing fanatic has the attention span of a gerbil's penis. It's very small. And they've grown up on steady diets of Prozac and Ritalin, so they have very short attention spans. And research is it's taboo for them. It's DD, deliberately dumb. When you're deliberately dumb, we're in the age of technology. You can literally find what you're looking for, and to make sure that what you're finding is correct, you can cross-reference it and do your own research. Research is taboo to people. It's taboo. So if you're not going to research it, you can't just come on here and call me a liar. You can't do that. Prove it. Scott, my brother, he says, "Are you religious, Drew?" Yes, I am. Yes, I am. This is weird, man. I watch how these boxing fanatics dick away your life and you just come to these channels like mine in an attempt to argue. Listen, I don't argue hypotheticals. Give me the facts. Who remembers Dragnet? Even you youngsters, you may have heard something called Just the Facts, ma'am. That comes from a show called Dragnet. Don't walk me around the block. I ain't got time. I don't make time. I don't make time for that bullshit. Just the facts. Give me the facts. That's why I don't do these super panels when people are arguing over hypotheticals. You know what I will engage with? I can open up a panel and who wins between Hawkeye and Green Arrow. That's fun to me. That's comic book shit. I mean, who really wins in a fight? World Breaker Hulk or Superman? I mean, come on, let's get to it. I could, because that's comic book shit. It's fantasy. Boxing is real life, man. Y'all remember Champ Side? This was back in July, I believe, because I remember because I was out of town. And this Bull Dyke gets on his panel, and she wants to argue Tank. And he says, where are you getting this information? She's like, well, I don't really have no proof, but, it has to be, He said, what do you mean it has to be? And he was presenting facts like, no, it's not that because of this. And the pipe bomb in that conversation was, you know what that was? He says, I have facts here. The facts brought me to this conclusion. And that dumb broad said, so when you have these debates, you always come with facts? What the fuck? What do you mean? How are you having an argument with no facts? You see, this is why a lot of you niggas be in, this is why a lot of you niggas go to jail. I'm listening to it like, I can't believe she really said that shit out loud. I remember watching a Kevin Samuels stream. And this dumbass tried to engage with him. And I forgot what it was, but Kevin was a stickler for facts, data, and statistics. And he hit her with the numbers. And she said, well, I'm not talking about that. He said, well, what are you talking about? And she said something that when I heard this girl say that at the Champ Side, that brought me back to the Kevin Samuels shit. And I'm like, do all these chicks do this? And it's even worse when you hear a man talking like that. Men, we got to do better. You got to do better. She said, oh, I thought we was just having a conversation. To her is, you were just arguing to argue. You don't like what he's saying, and you can't contradict it with facts, so you just want to argue. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. I will never lose a debate. Do you know why? You will never catch me speaking on some shit that I don't know about. I'll tell you straight up and down, I don't know about this. I don't know anything about this topic, so I'm useless. I'm useless. I don't know how any of this works, so don't even worry about it. But I don't let anybody debate me about the Fury and Wilder shit if they don't know about Daniel Kinahan. That's the buzzword. That's the buzzword. All houses says, like Beetlejuice, you say Kinahan 3 times, all houses appears. Word is bond. Yep. So, there was a clown in here earlier. His first words, oh, Deontay is a loser. All right, you're a loser. You're gone. I don't even read the rest of his shit. You're gone. I don't let any American casual, Deontay, he can't box though. And, I said, well, Fury's a cheater. Oh, but we saw what we saw. Yeah, you saw him get cheated, you dumbass. How do you know he was cheated? Oh, I'm glad you asked. Do you have about 30 minutes? If not, get out my face. Because you can't sum this up in 30 minutes. But cutting through the bullshit, you ask him, by the way, oh, word, yeah, he just lost. Oh, word, yeah, he wasn't cheated. Oh, yeah, okay. Let me ask you a question. Who's Daniel Kanahan? And stop right there. The proper response would be, who's that? Who is that? Because at that point, how many times y'all heard me on my show say, educate me? You know what that means? That means I don't know, and give me something of substance, and I will research it later. That's a part of being an adult, admitting when you don't know something. Philip D, salute. BVO, I see you. There's no harm in saying, hey, I don't know about that. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? You find out, hey, why the hell did Deontay look so bad in the second fight? Well, here's what happened. He was drugged. Oh, I don't believe that. Well, Mark Breland said, hey, I never gave Deontay water. In the second fight, he's giving Deontay water out of a fucking bottle of Dasani, which, by the way, is the most disgusting bottled water you can ever imagine. So there goes that. He comes back from the UK. I think I got set up. I told him I want to talk about Deontay. Well, let me get this straight. You was fired from the camp. All right? You was fired from the fucking camp. You're not doing anything else in boxing. And then they flew you out to talk to you, and all you did was trash Deontay. Explain how the fuck that was a setup. That was sour grapes. And that didn't make your case for you being in on the bullshit any stronger. It really didn't. I told them I didn't want to talk about Deontay when I got there. As soon as you sat down, they said his name, and you went off. I watched it. You didn't say, hey, I told y'all I didn't want to talk about him, and y'all talk, I didn't want to talk about him. You ain't stopped them, and you ain't doing shit else in boxing. They didn't ask. To my recollection, maybe they did, but you ain't doing shit past that. And who are you? In that atmosphere, at that current junction, what do you think they wanted to talk to you about? They flew your dumb ass out. Fuck Mark Breland. And he from my city. Motherfuck Mark Breland. So I know what his dumb ass did. Y'all heard about the phone call he got? They say, hey man, they don't like who you what you saying. They don't like what you talking about. See, a lot of this shit, it's not for me to reveal. But I always tell you, I remember who I talked to. I knew about all of this shit. Now Deontay's becoming more vocal about it. Look forward to that documentary. And if Fury don't like what he has to say, there's a little thing called defamation. Watch this. Do y'all remember? Because I know this was public record. Public record. Do y'all know Manny Pacquiao sued Floyd Mayweather and won the lawsuit? Floyd kept saying, he's drugged up, he's drugged up, he's drugged up. You know what I believe he was, but you know what the problem was? There was no burden of proof. There was no proof. Now, I believe Manny juiced up. I could do math. I'm like, man, as soon as people started really doing OSDT around boxing, his knockout stopped. His knockout stopped. General, salute. His knockout stopped. So I'm not stupid. But there's something called burden of proof. I'll give you another example. We could say, yo, I know Miguel Cotto was cheated by Antonio Margarito. I know he was. We can say that all we want. And people agree with me. Yeah, he was cheated. He was cheated. You know what I could say? If I'm Margarito's lawyer, I could say, prove it. Oh, but look at the hands. He had gravel in his hand wraps. You know what I'll say? The team, were they not in the locker room? They checked the hand wraps? Were they not commissions in the room? Margarito made it to the fight. He just beat Cotto. Proved that he cheated. And if you don't rescind what you said, I'm going to sue you for defamation. And Margarito will win that lawsuit because he was not caught cheating Miguel Cotto. He got caught cheating, trying to cheat Sugar Shane Mosley. That's when he got caught. All that happened was, because I watched that pay-per-view when they said there was a problem with the hand wraps, and then Brother Nas, rest in peace, when he said the commissions, listen carefully, the commission, he had to make the commission do their job, because when they cut the old hand wraps off and they fell on the ground, you heard a loud thud, and they tried to put it in a bag and keep it. And he had to go to the commission and say, no, get that shit. Do your job. My brother Conor Loco said those commissions don't do shit. He said, man, I've seen hand wraps being done and the fucking commissioners over there playing Candy Crush on their goddamn cell phone. They ain't watching shit. Commissions. Y'all remember this bitch, Gloria Martinez? Y'all remember what she did? What did she do? Y'all want to talk about commissions, right? What did she do? What did she do? Let's see who watches me. What did she do? This is the same bitch that called Michelle Obama a monkey, a Trump supporter. I will vote for Donald Trump. She one of them. What did she do? What did she do? That's right, son of Tank. That's right. Fox versus Mastre. She was the deciding factor. And I bring that up for a reason, because Gabriel Mastre got to the ring and Fox's camp said, yo, what's up with those gloves? The ref goes over and says, yo, what's up with these gloves? The gloves were skinned. The gloves were skinned. I did a whole show on it. All skin gloves means is they take the leather, they pull it back, and then they tie the tape high so more of the knuckle padding is exposed. It's illegal. And you know what the ref said? Who signed off on these? And you hear someone on the back say, I didn't. From the commission. Now, how the fuck the commission didn't catch that? It was a WBA sanctioned bout. Gabriel Mastre lost that fight. Michael Fox dropped him in the first or second round and went on to outbox him. And who was the deciding factor in that event, in the judge? That fucking racist Latina bitch. And I can call her that because it was uncovered. It was found that she was online calling Michelle Obama an ape. Yep. I'm not making any of this up. I am not making any of this up. And he got to the ring with skin gloves and the commission signed on it. You see that? And they still got the call wrong. So when I tell you that this is a corrupt sport and it's very racist, I'm not making it up. We just saw Nick Ball eat it. Shout out to the Heartbreaker. He broke a lot of hearts over the weekend. We just saw Nick Ball eat the dirt. What I didn't know when I did my video, shout out to Steve Elder Mack, Nick Ball tried to cheat with the hand wraps. They had to rewrap their hands. And he said, I don't know why they did that, because these are all things that are discussed in the post-fight. We're going to send somebody to check the hand wraps and blah. He said, I got there. They're already warming up. Just like Margarito and Shane Mosley. Brother Nas said, I got to the locker room, and they're already hitting pads. He said, whoa, I didn't see the hand wraps. They said, nah, we good. He said, no, we not. He told the commission. He said, if we don't see those hand wraps, we not fighting. The commission says, okay, let's see the hand wraps. They took Margarito's gloves off because they were already sweaty, and when they cut them off, they thudded to the ground. Then they tried to put it in a bag. It was like, nah, let me get that. He said, he told the commission, no, give me that. And then they found out that Margarito had a foreign substance which turned it into plaster. And then when we learned that, Margarito was kicked out of the sport. He couldn't, well, in America, he couldn't fight. He couldn't get licensed in America. He had to go fight in Mexico. And then we doubled back and said, oh shit, that's why Cotto's face looked like hamburger. He cheated him. And then I had Kermit Cintron on my show. He said, absolutely, that man was hitting something different. We didn't realize it. By the way, no one said that was Kermit Cintron's fault, because he fought him twice and knocked him out bad. No one said that was Kermit Cintron's fault for not having the right people checking the goddamn gloves. He got a pass. And he got sympathy. Kermit Cintron got sympathy. Miguel Cotto got sympathy and redemption. Right? I talk about how Miguel Cotto was made to come in at 145 pounds when he was the WBO welterweight champion, or because he was the B-side to Manny Pacquiao. He gets sympathy for all of that, and we uncover all of this shit about Deontay Wilder and what he was dealing with. Y'all don't want to hear nothing. Y'all don't want to hear it. And then when I say there's a racial aspect behind all of this, you don't want to hear that. That's why I say, people, y'all got to qualify to talk boxing with me. When you have fat fucks like Jason Shitcock talking about what it is, he's a casual. He don't watch boxing. He was so busy trying to literally blow Papa John. He watched Deontay walk to the ring with the outfit, and he got intimidated. I'd like to know, why is a white man getting intimidated by a black man on Black History Month walking to the ring with a Black Power song? It wasn't Kill Whitey. Why the fuck do racist crackers think that? Why is it that Mexicans, everywhere I turn, when they're competing in anything, they bang on their chest and say, Viva Mexico? It's beautiful. Love your country. Love your people. I don't get intimidated. Thomas is in the chat. Thomas, were we not at the first Golovkin-Canelo presser in New York? In all of those men, did I not grab the Mexican flag and wave it? That was me. I was Team Canelo versus Golovkin. I was Team Canelo. Thomas, am I lying? Real shit. I'm not bullshitting y'all. I was waving that flag. Viva Mexico. You're supposed to be proud. When Edwin De Los Santos fights, the Dominicans come out. Puerto Rican Day Parade, whatever. If Xander Zayas fights on the eve of the Puerto Rican Day Parade, watch the Garden, bro. When they sing their national anthem. I have no problem with you representing who you are, where you're from. I have no problem with that. It's only a problem when Black Americans do it. It's only a problem. It's only a problem when we do it. So if fat-ass Jason Whitlock is worried about Papa John, who's a racist himself, if he's worried about this black man walking to the ring and I forget the name of the brother with the dreads that rapped the song, but there was nothing in there talking about kill Whitey. It's all about being proud of who you are. And he said, I looked at Papa John and I said, oh my God. And Deontay made it a race thing. No, you stupid ass. Boxing has always been about race. You think Jason Whitlock knows when black fighters would travel from town to town, they would literally hang black people from trees so the fighter could see that. If you win here, boy, this is going to be you. Y'all go subscribe to Scrapbook Boxing. That is a gem. He's interviewed people that by the time he interviewed them, they were old. But they're the ones that told them stories about that. Thank you, D-Smoke. Thank you. But then when you try and explain this to people with a short attention span, it's between them with a short attention span and white folk. And I said, now I'm even going to put this on white folk. I'm putting it on others, non-blacks. Either they don't have an attention span for it or they just don't give a fuck. How dare you say that this is not about race? You don't watch this shit enough. You don't know the history about it. It's not about race. I don't watch soccer, and that's like the most popular sport in the world. I don't watch soccer. You want to know how much I don't watch soccer? Years ago, I'm in Manhattan by MSG. And I'm walking, and something always this happened to me 3 times with 3 different stars. But this is the funniest one. I'm walking, I'm on 8th Avenue, I think. I'm by Madison Square Garden. I forgot what I was doing down there, but I was reading a paper. I was looking for some place. I forgot what I was doing, but I literally bump into this guy. Damn near knock him over. And his security sucked. Because when I looked up, I was like, whoa, whoa. I said, oh, my bad. And he looked at me, he smiled, he shook my hand. I was like, oh, my bad, brother. I shook his hand, right? And he walked off. And then I noticed, you know, we had street vendors, right? We got hot dog guys. They sell the hot dogs and the pretzels and shit. There was like 4 of them on each corner, right? They left their stations and ran across the street to meet that guy. Now, this was, I want to say social media was, I don't know. I don't remember. But they ran over there and started shaking his hand. And I'm like, who the fuck was that? I literally bumped him and almost knocked him over. It was an accident. You know who the fuck it was? It was David fucking Beckham. You remember him? It was David Beckham. Thank you, Andrew 100. It was David Beckham. And what's funny was at that time, he had a big old banner, like an advertisement for, I think, underwear. And they had a picture of this motherfucker in his drawers all over, like, by MSG with his bulge out. It was disgusting. And I looked up. I said, oh, that's homie right there. I don't watch soccer. I don't give a fuck. I almost knocked him over. I said, oh, that's him. Yo, people left their stations because soccer's big. And those guys are the street vendors, like 90% of them are foreigners. They're from other countries. So they knew who that was. And he was just walking down the street. He shook my hand like I'm supposed to know. You remember that I forget which Indiana Jones it was. You remember when Indiana was trying to get something and he bumped into Adolf Hitler? And he signed that book. He didn't know it, he was like, oh shit. And Adolf just thought he wanted an autograph. It was that kind of thing. I'm not calling Beckham, but he grabbed my hand and shook it. I'm like, nigga, I don't know you. Who the fuck are you? Always in that area. I bumped into Wesley Snipes, same shit. I was like, oh shit. He said, hey man, how you doing, brother? We dapped it up. He kept walking. John Starks, John Starks is bigger in person. I'm 6'2", he's 6'5". On TV, he looked like a little ant. I came up 33rd, made a left, boom, right into him. I was like, oh, John, goddamn. He's like, hey, man, what's up? But salute to David Beckham. But my point is, I didn't know who the fuck it was. I didn't know who the fuck it was. I didn't know. Yeah, I hated John Starks. We cool now, but I hated John Starks. Way too emotional, but whatever. But I didn't know who the fuck that. I literally almost knocked the dude over. His security sucked. I almost knocked his ass over. Like, I'm walking, I'm reading the paper, and boom! I said, "Oh shit, my bad." He said, "Oh, how you doing?" And I shook his hand. I said, "Hey, how are you?" And I was like, "That was fucking weird." He got to the corner, and I heard these men look like chicks. Oh! And they ran across the street. Oh, David. And I said, "Who the fuck?" Store owner was like, "Oh yeah, that's David Beckham." I said, "Oh shit, I know that guy." And the guy pointed up. Dude, goddamn, he got his beef out in Manhattan on the side of the Madison Square Garden. I said, "Oh yeah, that is him. That's him. That's him right there." I don't know. Yeah, I know this guy Messi. Messi's like the Michael Jordan of soccer now. I don't know these guys. Respectfully, I don't know. Now watch this. What if all of you in the chat that watch soccer, Scott. What if you saw me on a random soccer channel? This guy just talks soccer. I'm sure there's soccer heads all over YouTube. What if you saw me pop up in a channel and I just say, "Hey man, Beckham better than Messi. Matter of fact, Messi is Messi. Messi is Messi. I got Beckham." And the person on the channel says, "Well, why do you say that?" See, key question, why? And my response is, his hair is blonde and I bumped into him once. That's how I feel listening to you Tank fans. That's exactly how I feel. See? See how that works? And dude's like, "Yo, no, Drew, click the link. I need to know, why do you think Beckham is better than Messi? I want to have this conversation." And I come up here talking about blonde hair, endorsements, and I bumped into him once, and he's a cool guy. He shook my hand. That's my argument. And the person on the channel is presenting data and stats and scoring, and I'm just talking about blonde hair, endorsements, and I shook his hand once. You see? Exactly, Scott. Exactly. That's how I view Tank fans. Just like that. I'm like, what? Wait a minute. What kind of conversation are we really having? That's why I say this is not a safe space for casuals. And I'm laying all of this groundwork out because it's all relevant. This is why I don't let a casual fan talk to me about Deontay Wilder. I don't let a casual fan talk to me about anything. You can't talk to me about the history of the sport because you don't know. You can't talk to me about Deontay Wilder because you don't know. You can't talk to me about Devin Haney, Tank Davis. You don't know enough about boxing. You can tell me about some chrome hearts and Brady's and tattoos. You can tell me about that if I ask. If I ask. Prez, exercise your right to remain silent. You're exactly who I'm talking about. I asked you last week, what do you want to see Tank Davis do next? And you said, make as much money as he can. That was your response. There you have it. My conversation is different. Drew, what do you want to see Frank Martin do next? Who's in the rankings? How can he crack the top 3? Who's he need to fight? I want to see him fight Rolly. Rolly's lined up already? Okay. Let me look around. He need to fight. Press, please remain silent. Please remain silent. Everybody heard what you had to say. Tank fans don't want to see him fight his contemporary. They want to see him get money. And they want to see that glycerin sweat off his back when he's hitting a bag. It's the gayest shit I've ever seen in my life. But when I talk about what happened to brother Deontay, casuals don't have the attention span to talk about what I got going on in this meme. But let me bring the conversation full circle. Miguel Cotto gets sympathy. There's more sympathy for Miguel Cotto than what was about to happen to Shane Mosley. The people that sympathize for Miguel Cotto, they don't talk about if it wasn't for brother Nas, then we don't solidify what we say about Miguel Cotto. I think Miguel Cotto's cheated, but the burden of proof. The sad fact is, these niggas out here are so racist. Deontay had proof. Y'all didn't hear when they said his doctor said what he said. We're just going to breeze right over that. Imagine having all of these facts and nobody even wants to hear you. Steve Cunningham said what he said. Steve Cunningham said, yo, man, this guy cheated in the ring. We all saw it. Eddie Cotton said, Tyson Fury is the dirtiest fighter I ever had to officiate, and I had Andrew Galata twice. That's on record. He said that. Do y'all know Steve Cunningham went to the commission with all of this evidence? And they said, we've investigated it, we've investigated ourselves, and we found no wrongdoing. What do you do when no one listens to you? And then they wonder why Deontay's just stopped talking to the media. You want to know why? Because of motherfuckers like Simon Jordan. And Simon Jordan is a representation of the media. Where the fuck was Mauricio Suleiman to defend his WBC champion that defended the title and tied the record for Muhammad Ali? They didn't even want to do anything. This is the same guy that wanted to launch an investigation when Deontay said, I want a body on my record. Mauricio Suleiman. But never forget who he is. Watch this.
Hello, my name is Mauricio Suleiman, Executive Secretary of the WBC. We would like to announce that we have begun an investigation regarding the situation that happened in a female championship fight last weekend in Mexico. The fight was between Juarez and Rigo Togo from Japan, and there was a situation in which the gloves were tampered with. The WBC is gathering all the reports from the supervisors from both camps, and we will have a hearing with Togo's management to have them explain exactly what transpired during that situation of the gloves. Here's the evidence. It is a critical and alarming situation because the so-called skinning of gloves seems that happened for this fight. We are very concerned about this situation, and the WBC is gathering information regarding.
They went so hard for Rio Togo and La Barbie. And it turns out that Rio Togo cheated. My point is, the fight happened, and once there was a suspicion, the gloves was on his fucking desk the next day. When we said there was some funny shit going on with Tyson Fury's gloves, he didn't even bother. Why? When I spoke to Sugar Hill on Fred's show, I asked him where the gloves are. The gloves are in his house. When I spoke to Mauricio Suleiman on Fred's show, I said, do you know where the gloves are? He said, no. I said, they're in Sugar Hill's house. Mauricio Suleiman lied and said he was in both locker rooms, and to say that Fury cheated was impossible because I was there. That's not what he told me on Fred's show. It went from I was there to the commissions was there. I just told you the commissions was there when Michael Fox got to the ring with Gabriel Mastre, and Mastre got to the ring with skin gloves. Do we really trust the commissions? Do I have to talk about Alejandro Herman-ass? I said, this is who Franchon Cruz DeZern is fighting? I said, okay. And I'm like, what's going on with her? Oh, okay. So she fights her and loses. And all we asked was like, hey, man, look, good fight, but hey, Mauricio, was she tested? His response, you bully her because she gay. I said, yo, it's obvious she's gay. We ain't talking about that. We asking you, was she drug tested? That's yes or no. I've known her for a long time. She has child. We don't care. Was she tested? And guess what happened? There was a problem right there. She was trying to grow a penis.
Get your hand off my penis! And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis?
That was her in the post-fight. She was trying to grow a cock. She was going through a whole sex change. I'm not making that up. She's trying to grow a cock. So, according to science, Franchon Cruz DeZern was in there with the man, and he took his time giving her that belt back. You remember when he told him, we said, hey, Mauricio, this guy Daniel Kinahan is bad fucking news. You remember that? What did he say? It's in writing, but I remember what he said. I am not Interpol. I am not the police. I'm judging Daniel Kinahan based off what he does moving forward in the sport of boxing, something to that degree. And then literally a week later, $5 million bounty on Daniel Kinahan's head. And he said, I made a mistake. You think? You asshole? WBC, Daniel Kinahan, Deontay Wilder. Uh-oh. Y'all want to talk about that, though, right? But that doesn't matter because Deontay, all he has is a right hand. Shit like that. Now, if I, sitting in the Bronx, if I know all of this, what makes you think Simon Jordan, who's not a Fury guy and who is anti-Kinahan, what makes you think he don't know? You know what this was? This was a colonizer mentality. Undermine what that black man says. And no matter what, I'm standing on business. You just lost because everything was fair when you fought Fury. And I've been waiting for 3 years to tell you this to your face. It was disrespectful. But what do these colonizers know about respect? Oh, Drew, you talking about race again? Yeah, well, prove me wrong. If anybody wants to talk to you about the Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury situation, before you go any further, say, do you know who Daniel Kinahan is? And if they try and front and say yes, ask them to explain who he is. We'll get to the bottom of that right now. And if it's a black motherfucker saying all of that, and if they really know who he is, if they still feel that this was fair when he fought him, just tell them have a good day. Don't even talk to them. They don't deserve to speak to you. They're fucking idiots. Deliberately dumb. In this age of technology, to be deliberately dumb is a spit in your fucking face. Todd French in that super chat, he says the champ was gracious to that a-hole interviewer. He was. Because if it was me, I would have asked how come Fury was bought from the U.S. and how about boar testes? I didn't even get to that. What was the name of the guy that said they told him the farmer? Oh, me and Huggy Fury, his cousin Huggy Fury, popped dirty because we was eating boar nuts. Swear to God, that's what they said. Then he spun the block and said, nah, I never sold him any boars. We don't even have boars in our country.
Stupid butts.
And he came clean because he didn't pay him. And I think he disappeared. Black Martial Arts Society in that super chat, he says WBC ordered Paffin to make those gloves inspect what? Yo, you're getting deep, brother. They don't know about these gloves. They don't know. This guy has a history of doing this shit. He has a history of this. Martin Carefoot was his name. Thank you, Robert. Where is he? Is he okay? My brother, the Cali Enigma, go subscribe to my brother. He says, you've been on top of this from the get-go. Salute to the LDBC. Yes! Yes! The in crowd, brother. The in crowd. Once you get to a certain level, look, man, we can't believe, you can't tell me that, you know, in breaking news, Ghislaine Maxwell refused to answer any questions on the Epstein committee. Y'all be the first motherfuckers to come up in here and talk about conspiracy theories. You know, we know about the Epstein files and everything else, and some of y'all believe in the alien stuff. I believe in it to a degree also. Not to a degree. I believe in that shit. I'm just going to say, I believe that, whatever. Go to my Patreon. I'm about to do a live on the experience that I had when I was in Illinois, Vandalia, Illinois, 1988. I was 13. Right? Now, look at this. Look at this. I'm not saying that that's not true. I'm not saying that that's not true. But the same niggas telling me that there's elites, and once you reach to a certain level, and Jay-Z and the Illuminati, the same motherfuckers that tell me shit like that don't believe me when I talk about this Deontay Wilder shit. That's my point. How? Oh, that ain't happened. That ain't happened. That ain't happened. But you believe in aliens and the Illuminati. See that? You believe Jay-Z's a part of the Illuminati and he's going down. You believe everything that Jaguar Wright says, and that's up to you. I'm not telling you what to believe and what not to believe. I'm not saying that. You believe in aliens, that shit that happened in Miami. I know a motherfucker that was around there, and when it happened, I got a phone call. Yo, you know what just happened? There was some 9-foot tall nigga. I said, oh, what? The Spanish family that was like, yo, there was a fucking alien hiding behind our fucking forklift. I believe that shit because of an experience I had in 1988. But whatever. I'm just on here talking, right? So you can believe in all of this outer space shit, the Illuminati and Jay-Z and this one going to jail and R. Kelly and eating babies. But I tell you about this cartel leader, all of this shit that's for real. And y'all don't want to believe shit I have to say. Deliberately dumb. Y'all don't want to hear shit. Wait till tomorrow. I'm going to lay it all out. This shit with Floyd Mayweather suing Showtime for $340 million and how I believe so far, Al Heyman is exempt from this lawsuit because of his title as advisor, and why the PBC's fucked up. Press still got on here and said the PBC runs boxing. When all the writings were on the wall for the last 3 years. Tank and Roach was supposed to happen in Houston, Texas at the Toyota Center, and then it wasn't happening. We're like, well, what's going on? And the way it was worded was, the venue wasn't ready. I forgot how they worded it, but our brother Rod Neal's in Houston, and he said, ain't nothing wrong with the venue. The Rockets are playing there right now. There ain't no burst pipe or nothing. What's going on? Oh, no, they're going to Brooklyn. Okay, well, what happened? And then I'm looking at the goddamn press conference, and I'm like, it was at some college? And I'm like, what's wrong with the production? It looks low budget. What's going on? And then here come Blue. it sounded like they have money problems. And all of a sudden, Blue became the enemy. He says, no, it looks like they're having money problems. Wait, well, we trying to find out what's going on. And here we are right now. Floyd Mayweather suing for $340 million. Showtime went out of business. Not out of business. They left the business of boxing. Top Rank has no network. They're on Tubi. Looks like these YouTubers weren't so crazy after all. We just following the bouncing ball. You know what it's called? It's called journalism. Now, I'm not a journalist by trade, but I can follow facts. All I'm saying is that this don't look right. This don't look right. What's going on with here? Tank is the face of boxing. How could they not secure a venue? What? The week that and mind you, they don't just secure it for a weekend. They secure it for the whole week. They got to do press conferences, meet and greets, and all this other shit. The Rockets weren't moving over for them niggas. So I was like, wait, what's going on? And I think the week that they were booking it, the Rockets were on the road for that week. I think. Don't quote me on that. I think. That's the proper way to do it. The week that they have road games, we're going to book the venue for that week. There was no money. And when Blue Blood exposed that they put it out, but then Blue Blood made that phone call, all of a sudden, instead of following the facts, y'all got mad at Blue. Oh, he don't know who he's talking to on the phone. That person they can't say anything. They're not at liberty. The person on the phone is not the person in the office making the big calls. Okay, with that being said, thank you, Rod. They were on a 5-game road trip, and they couldn't secure the venue. That's a money issue. And when Blue made that phone call, motherfuckers got mad at Blue for talking to a person on the phone that gave them the information. And my thing was, if the person on the phone gave Blue that information and they're wrong, then blame the person on the phone. But at least Blue was looking out to try and get us the news and find out what's going on. Because it didn't sound right. How does Tank, this megastar, not have a good enough name and generate enough revenue or convince the venue that we can get you this money for them not to secure the venue? That's all we was asking. It didn't sound right. The bank wasn't in order. And what did y'all do? Y'all called Blue Blood the hater. Y'all said, hey man, y'all hate Tank. No. We're just wondering why, because, Cats was about to buy a plane ticket for that weekend and just wait for the tickets to go on sale. That's how much they love Tank. If you love him like that, that's on you. That's fine. But what happens to the motherfuckers that booked the plane ticket to go there and it wasn't over there? You can't get your money back from a plane ticket. You just got to reuse it some other time. For those of you that channel, for those of you that travel, y'all know that. Exactly, Art Hostage, exactly. How the fuck they get mad at the messenger? That was the weirdest shit I've ever seen. You had a mixture of things. You had people that had unconditional love for Tank. And you had a lot of people that just hated Blue. That's where the hate was. Because the same rules apply over there that apply over here. Stop me when I'm lying. When I'm talking about any fighter, stop me when I'm lying. Say, Drew, you're lying on this guy. No, you just don't like what I have to say about him. But I'm saying, yo, stop me when I'm lying. Watch this. Gervonta got a lot of tattoos. So what? Okay. He does, though. Why are you hating on his tattoos? I didn't say I hate him. I just said he has a lot of them. Why are you saying that, though? He has a lot of tattoos. Why are you saying it? Is it a lie? No. He has a lot of tattoos, yes? Yeah, but ain't nothing. I just said he has a lot of tattoos. What the fuck is wrong with you? Goddamn. I got tattoos. I ain't got that many. Not like him. Watch this. Deontay got long hair. Gervonta got long hair. So what, nigga? You losing your hair? Yeah. 50 years old. So why are you hating on his hair? I'm not. I just said he has long hair. Why'd you mention it, though? You like his hair? Well, yeah. Okay. I just said he has long hair. Am I lying? No. So why are you attacking me for saying the man has long hair? What are we doing? See how that works? You motherfuckers are in defense mode about the wrong shit. Why am I talking about his hair? Why am I talking about his tattoos when he's a boxer? Deontay got a lot of tattoos. How many times you heard me mention his tattoos? Uh-oh. How many times have I mentioned his tattoos? How many? Never. It's the first time you heard me say it. Deontay Wilder had about $50,000, and I'm lowballing it, around his neck when he was talking to Simon Jordan. How many times you heard me mention his jewelry? See how that works? I'm a grown-ass man. You motherfuckers think you motherfuckers are the Robin Leaches of the internet. Y'all know who Robin Leach is? Y'all remember a show called Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous? It was before MTV Cribs, and we're talking in the 80s. Robin Leach, the British brother. And he used to interview people that were rich and famous and present to you their lifestyles, their boats, their cars, I'm Robin Leach, and this is Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. I used to watch that stuff. It was real big over here. You know what I noticed? I'd be like, wow, look at what they got. Wow, wow, wow. I never hated on it. You niggas today, look at these niggas think he the shit. Nah, he just worked for it. But some of you motherfuckers. What Blue call y'all? The knee pad boys? Slurpers? Ridiculous. But I know Deontay's too dark. He's so dark, y'all don't even notice that he has tattoos all over his body. That's how black he is, right? He's too dark. He's from the South. His English ain't proper, right? Y'all don't like how he talk. Newsflash. I got family in the Deep South. I understand every word the brother say. It's like another language sometimes. But if you from Baltimore, you better not ever. Because y'all from the Northeast, man. Y'all from the goddamn East. I know there be jokes talking about, country bumpkin. Okay, fine, man. You want to do that? There's white folk down there that talk like that. Right? Let me be very clear. You from the east side, the northeast, from Baltimore up through Philly or whatever, and you talk a certain way, that's just education, bro. That's just lingo down there. It's just lingo. Like you talk to a Jamaican, they're not uneducated. Patois is a language. I got family in the South. I understand what they say. But up here, if you don't have no family down there, it's like another language. Okay, what is my obsession with Baltimore? What is my obsession with Baltimore? Okay. Do you really want the answer? Or are you just talking? Tell me that you want the answer. Tell me that you want the answer, and I'll answer the question right now, because I played it before. What is my obsession with Baltimore? You want to know? You want to know? Go ahead, press. Tell me you want to know. Go ahead, press. Tell me you want to know. Go ahead. Hold on, let me pull up my other. Did you answer? You do want to know. Okay, let me get your question answered. Because it's not an obsession. It's a point that I made. Pull it up. I know I saved it. Give me a second. Because I'm going to make a point. Here we go. Because for years, I was trying to figure out what the fuck is wrong with y'all. Because I've been to Baltimore. I got people out there in your town. I really do. And I always wondered what the fuck is wrong with the motherfuckers around you. And there is a scientific reason. Okay? All right. What does that say? I was wondering what the fuck is wrong with y'all. Why y'all got a gang problem? Now, you can call it an obsession. I was just looking for answers. Like, what's wrong with these niggas? And then I realized that there was a historic answer to this. And I couldn't believe it. Now, I want you to pay attention. I wonder why these niggas, not everyone in Baltimore, but there's a lot of dumb niggas over there. And they got all kinds of speech impediments and shit. Y'all hear Mag 7? Y'all hear him? Now, hold on. Y'all may think I'm firing shots, and I am. But y'all hear this nigga. And I said to myself, there has to be a scientific reason. Like when you hear a grown-ass man like K-Ho talk about he identifies with Tank. What grown man identifies with the woman beater, an underachiever that speaks with no education? What is this obsession? And I'm, two of my friends moved to Baltimore for business. And they're like, yo, there's a side of town that's fucked off. That show The Wire. That's not far from Coppin State, where my sister went to school at. And she says, no, that shit's real. We was out there driving. That shit is real. And then I said, well, there has to be a scientific reason why it's like that. And then I came across this.
Incest. Take the Eastern Shore of Maryland, for example, right?
The Eastern Shore of Maryland.
Most people live within a 50-mile radius of where they were born.
Most people live within the 50-mile radius of where they were born.
A large percentage of the people who lived on the Eastern Shore of Maryland during this time of these breeding farms migrated to Baltimore.
Where'd they go? The breeding farms. They migrated to Baltimore. Follow me.
Baltimore, Maryland is the incest capital of the United States of America.
Oh, what? Let's hear it again.
Baltimore, Maryland is the incest capital of the United States of America.
Baltimore, Maryland is the incest capital of the United States of America.
And according to statistics by my colleague, Dr. Patricia Newton, who's a psychiatrist in Baltimore, in that area in Baltimore, Sandtown, where you had these recent rebellions, 9 out of 10 black women in the depressed parts of Baltimore, 9 out of 10 black women have been victims of incest.
You hear that? You hear that? Did you know that, Press? Now, let me say this, young man. This is through no fault of your own. Unless you're banging your first cousin right now, don't admit if you are. This is through no fault of your own. But what history is saying is that there's a chance that your great, 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 great grandparents were brother and sister or first cousins, because historically black people, we were bred like cattle. So they would take a whole bunch of men and women and put them in the room and say, y'all gets to banging because I need a big old field nigga. And the big black, remember what Jimmy the Greek said? The big black will be made to breed with the female big black, and they'd make Shaquille O'Neal. He didn't say Shaq. Shaq wasn't around back then. But they want a big old Shaq-looking Shaquille O'Neal nigga to plow those fields. And this is through no fault of your own. Now, if the child come out with no birth defects, you know, his heart be on the opposite side of his body and shit, because we can't crossbreed like animals do. We're humans. But through no fault of your own, this is what was happening. So every now and again in your bloodline, you get a kid, every fourth or fifth kid, they come out with a problem. Foot backwards, they have a health issue, or a speech impediment. I'm not kidding. I'm not firing shots. I'm saying I was trying to figure the fuck out what was going on. And I came across this. So when you ask me, what is my obsession with Baltimore? If you want to call this an obsession, whatever. But you just learned something this morning. I'm not making this up. Look up the documentary. It's not your fault. It's not your mama's fault. It's not your grandmama's fault. It's not your great. This goes back to centuries. I'm saying it's a possibility that your great grandparents were related by blood. It's not good. And in your lineage, this is why there's some sort of birth defects. Ask yourself, do I have a cousin that's handicapped? Do I have more than one person in my bloodline that's handicapped? Why do you think I look at Tank a little weird? Like, what the fuck's wrong with this kid? Why do you think that? Why is he doing this? You was about to make $40 million and you went and go punch this chick in the face? Prez, this ain't the first time I talked about this. So you asked me the question. You asked me the question. Here's your answer. And as a gift to you, here you go. Y'all make sure y'all save this. And y'all can actually use this to say, Drew, give Tank a break. You know that boy probably retarded. You know his great ancestors were probably brother and sister. Yeah, Jose. Listen, man. I never knew this shit. My boys, they went down there. They worked for the military. They ended up in Baltimore. And the phone calls that I was getting were like, yo, there's something wrong with these niggas. I know about goons in my city. I know about goons in Philly. But he said there was something crazy about these niggas in Baltimore. He said all them niggas sound alike. And they all like slow. I said, what do you mean? He said, no, like how they talk. I said, that's their slang. He says, no. There's something not right with these kids out here. There it is.
In the same area, 7 out of 10 black men have been victims of incest.
7 out of 10 black men have been victims of incest. You hear this?
Watch the news channels here in America and see how many mixed race black men and women are forecasting the news in America today. Don't miss it. Don't miss who's on the television screen talking to us. That black-skinned woman or man is peripherally there. This mulatto, who I don't blame for their condition, but if you accept that role in society, then you got to take responsibility for what comes from it.
This mulatto, do y'all even know what that is? What do I call Tank? Do I not call him Mellow Yellow? Mellow Yellow, mulatto, Mellow Yellow, mulatto. You see that? Okay. I'm not just saying shit just to say it. So I hope I answered your question, Press. Because in all reality, I'm trying to make sense of it. I said they can't be this stupid by choice. What it is it's handicapped behavior, and there's a history behind it. So I just made sense of it. And the people running behind this kid, you gotta understand, he is deficient mentally. He's deficient. That's my point. He's deficient. Yeah, all right, that's deep. This is a deep conversation. I might have to take this to Patreon and make it free so everyone can get in on it. Oh, I know about that, K-Rod. I know. That word is deep. That word is deep. We call them coolies up here. The light-skinned niggas with the good hair. Good hair. What's good hair? Shakur's hair. His hair curly. Because his dad is what? Puerto Rican. But there's certain dudes, the mulattoes over there in New Orleans and over there, the Midwest, they're light skinned with curly hair because they had white in their bloodline. It's a whole thing, bro. The black seed has been diluted several times, bro. Several times. More than that, hundreds of times. And we're the only ethnicity, we're the only race of people that we have so much problems trying to find out who we are. You got to do DNA testing. I know where my people are from my mama's side and my pop's side. Anyway, we actually didn't get off topic because all of this is relevant. And I wanted to remind you guys, when the topic of Deontay Wilder and Fury comes up, if they can't tell you who Danny Kinahan is, then they don't deserve to talk to you. Unless they want to sit there and learn about it and say, oh, nah, well, who's that? Because there have been a couple of people, literally 2 people, that when I explained it and sent them links, they've gotten back to me and said, oh, shit, I didn't know about none of this. This is what the brother was dealing with? Yes. I'm not making this up. Listen, man, our brother lost to Zilly Zong. Did we act the same way? No. Our brother lost to Joseph Parker. Did we behave the same way? No. But you strike a nerve when it comes to Fury because we know what he did. And we're the only people that stand up to this bullshit. And they undermined the heavyweight champion of the world. I blame Mauricio Suleiman. I blame Bob Arum. And Bob Arum's no saint. Did the FBI not raid his place of business? Did he not admit in court that they fix fights? So if the FBI invaded his place of business and he took the stand and admitted to fixing fights, what makes you think that there is not a no black fighter rule in their offices that Cameron Duncan confirmed? But you motherfuckers want to insist that there's no racism in boxing. If you're not willing to even listen to that conversation, don't fucking talk to me. And I'll land my plane there, man. Salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelda, Cash App, the Super Chat, man. Love you guys. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to Art Hostage. He knows this shit better than I do. Go subscribe to Art Hostage. Click on his name in the chat. Go to his channel. Because we got the game on Daniel Kinahan from him. And he's over there in the UK. Stand on business, Art. Salute to you. And y'all remember.
The devil is a motherfucking liar. So you know I ain't worried. Biatch. Stupid bitch.
General's on. Let's keep this ball bouncing, man. I'll see you tomorrow, Monkey Tuesday, man. Bronx on deck.
Move! Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.